heroes rise with the sun and set with tide. Today, our story is about no less than those heroes, one of the greatest souls in the history of mankind, a legend, an inspiration, an epitome of non-violence, our father of the nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, famously known as Mahatma Gandhi, meaning great soul. Mahatma Gandhi was born in Porbandar, Gujarat in the year 1869 on 2nd October to a couple, Karamchand Gandhi and Putlibai, in a typical middle-class Hindu family. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, also happened to be the Diwan of Porbandar. As a young growing child, Gandhi was quite shy and timid. He was, like any other student, an average in his studies and wasn't a very bright student. Gandhi loved being all by himself and would love to go on long solitary walks when he was not nursing his by then ailing sick father, who died soon thereafter, or helping his mom with her household chores. Who in the world knew that this timid, shy, unassuming young man would grow into a giant force of civil rights? Initially, Gandhi wanted to become a doctor. However, under his family's direction, at the age of 18, went on about to study law and received a degree from London, England. Gandhi struggled with this new profession, and after finding hard to find work as a lawyer in India, Gandhi obtained a year contract to perform legal services in South Africa. It was in South Africa where Gandhiji, for the first time, came face to face with social racism and discrimination. One such moment in Gandhi's life occurred during a train trip in South Africa, when a white man objected to his presence in a first-class railway compartment. Although he had a ticket, Gandhi was forcibly removed and thrown off the train. Nevertheless, this experience only motivated him to fight against racial discrimination, and he vowed to try, if possible, to root out the disease of prejudice and suffer hardships in the process. Gandhiji returned to India in 1915 and started asserting himself in the fight for justice for his countrymen through non-violence and Satyagraha. The CHAMPARAN Satyagraha of 1917 in CHAMPARAN, Bihar was the first Satyagraha movement inspired by Mohandas Gandhi and a major revolt in the Indian independence movement. Here, the CHAMPARAN farmers were made to grow indigo and heavy compensations were demanded from the poor farmers by the Britishers. When the farmers failed to pay up, they were subjected to serious forms of torture. Gandhiji arrived in Champaran on 10th April 1917. Gandhiji realized that the people there lacked basic education, therefore which the Britishers were taking advantage of their illiteracy. Thus, Gandhiji, along with his team of learned men, started laying down foundations for basic education. Gandhiji also led organized protests and strikes against the landlords. With the guidance of the British government, an agreement was signed granting more compensation and control over farming for the poor farmers of the region. Under this agreement, there was cancellation of revenue hikes and illegal tax collections. It was during this agitation that first time Gandhi was called Babu, meaning father, and Mahatma, great soul. What happened in Champaran was just the beginning. Next came the non-cooperation movement of 1920. Non-cooperation movement was announced formally on 1st August 1920. The movement started with strikes and processions all over India. The non-cooperation movement was the first nationwide mass movement led by Mahatma Gandhi. There was widespread social unrest among the people, and the movement was marked with unforgettable events such as boycott of educational institutions, picketing of shops which sold foreign goods, and burning of foreign clothes. Khadi and charkha became the symbol of national movement. During this time, a very significant practice of social change called Swadeshi became alive. Swadeshi implies self-reliance and self-sufficiency, and under this, Gandhiji discouraged Indians from using foreign goods and encouraged them to start weaving their own clothes. Another significant movement in Gandhi's fight for Indian independence was Dandi March or the Salt March. On March 12, 1930, Mahatma Gandhi, wearing a hand-woven white shawl, slippers, and a walking stick, along with 79 Satyagrahis, set on foot for the coastal village of Dandi, Gujarat, which is over 390 km from Sabarmati Ashram and continued for 26 days. This march was undertaken to put an end to the taxation of salt production by the Britishers. It gained worldwide attention, which gave a boost to the Indian independence and started the nationwide civil disobedience movement. On the morning of 6th April 1930, after a prayer, Gandhi raised a lump of salty mud and declared, "With this, I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire," and thus the salt law was broken. The failure of the Britishers to acknowledge the cries of Indian independence led to another remarkable movement, the Quit India movement of 1942. The Quit India movement was launched on 8 August 1942 at the Bombay session of the All India Congress Committee by Mahatma Gandhi, demanding an end to British rule in India. Protests were benched for the orderly British withdrawal called by Gandhi in his speech, and many leaders were imprisoned. The Quit India movement was so significant that in 1992, Reserve Bank of India issued a 1 rupee commemorative coin to mark the golden jubilee of the Quit India movement. After almost a century under British dominion, a day came which swept every Indians off of their feet. And on 15 August 1947, India finally received what she deserved: freedom. Freedom from the shackles of British bondage. It was indeed a day to be remembered and celebrated for years to come. On 30 January 1948, a tragic day for the nation, our national treasure, Mahatma Gandhi, was martyred. Gandhiji conducted multi-faith prayer meetings every evening. One day, as he walked up the low steps to the raised lawn behind Birla House, he was shot at thrice at point-blank range, leading to his death.
नर्स को भी अपना कर्तव्य निभाना पड़ता है। अगर नर्स वक्त पे ईमानदारी ना करे तो रोगी की मृत्यु हो सकती है। बिल्कुल ये बात यहाँ भी लागू होती है। प्रार्थना सभा में 1 मिनट की देरी में मुझे बहुत तकलीफ।
बापूजी को देर हो रही है।
नमस्ते बापूजी। बापू नमस्ते। नमस्ते।
नमस्ते बापूजी।
ऐसा बापूजी को प्रार्थना सभा के लिए पहले से ही देर
Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a right-wing advocate of Hindu nationalism and member of the political party, the Hindu Mahasabha. Nathuram Godse was executed on 15 November 1949. But one should remember that the spirit of nationalism did not end with Gandhi's death. It still lives on, and it is now our national responsibility. Gandhi dreamt of a multi-diverse Indian nation united in love. In fact, he died for the very cause of unity. Diversity in culture, race, tribe, religion, tradition, beliefs is what makes India an incredible India. So today, as we live our 72nd year of freedom, let's put segregation, irrational hostility, and join our hands together to make Mahatma Gandhi's dream a reality. And yes, We shall, with this song, Hum Honge Kamayab.